fear mongers are at it again. You got people in the government or CSIS, and then of course the media that just regurgitates, and the propagandist arm. Even if they agree or disagree, they have to bow, yield, or conform to whatever their political masters tell them anyways. And this is being presented by the Canadian press. It's a Huffington Post article, which, think about it, is the way the media works. And if you look at it, a lot of the major stories, you'll either have Reuters, AP, Associated Press, or Canadian Press will be the ones that do the stories, and then all the other puppet media agencies just regurgitate the same shit. So whether it's the Huffington Post, CBC, CTV, Global, the Globe and Mail, you'll see they'll all have the exact same story. Just their editorial board might tweak and have a little different thing to say about it, but it's still the same propaganda bullshit put out by the government, and the media just regurgitates it. Anyways, headline from this Huffington Post article today is terrorism named main threat to Canadian security by CSIS. CSIS, which is, CSIS. The Canadian security, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I mean, let's see. They're the security branch, the spy agency or whatever of Canada. Of course they're going to want... These companies, these government entities, they cannot exist. I mean, if there was no threat, what would be the point of having these guys? Or expanding their powers, right? With C-51 and all this shit. So, of course, they got to pretend that there's a major threat. They're robbing Canadians to the tune of billions of dollars to pay for this shit. They better at least give you some kind of a decent fucking story, a sales pitch, right? I mean, this is what they're doing. They got to at least offer you a sales pitch. If they're going to try to ram this shit down your throat, right? And I do recognize there are lots of Canadians that are going to fall for this shit, but there's the reason why people like myself, the reason why I'm here, and I don't get paid, unlike the media outlets, Huffington Post or the editorial board or the Canadian press, the people that work for the Canadian press or the CSIS. I don't get paid for fucking warning all of my fellow Canadians that these guys are bullshitting you, but I'll do it for fucking free. Just because I care, and because it affects not just me and my family or my kids or their grandkids and future generations, but everyone else in Canada. It affects you all. So, this is why I do what I do, even though most of you don't appreciate it, but I'm going to do it anyways for the ones that do. For most of you fucks and the ones that when I say this, I recognize you'll probably never see this anyways, but for those of you that do and you do care, I do this for you. Anyways. Ottawa, the risk of Canadians becoming radicalized into extremism is a legitimate and significant concern, the country's spy agency says Friday. In its 2013-2014 public report, the Canadian Security Intelligence Services said terrorism remains the most persistent threat to national security. The agency also said espionage against Canadian economic, political, and military interests is a worry. Michael Coulomb, or whatever, director of CSIS, has often stressed the terror threat in speeches and appearances before parliamentary committees. He didn't soft pedal it in his portion of the report. But go back just that sentence before. The agency also said espionage against Canadian economic, political, and military interests is a worry. Now, any Canadian that's watching this video, you fucking know damn well that even if you talk about the guy in Ottawa or in Quebec or any of the shootings that supposedly were terrorist related or extremists, who were they attacking? Who was their target? Well, it was a military guy standing in front of the parliament, and then he went into the parliament building. I mean, you know damn well, Canada, if there's any so-called extremists or radicals in this country, if they do end up attacking anything or anybody in this country, you know it's not going to be you. They're not out to get you. Did you do anything to them? No. So they're not after you. They're after, I mean, think about it. Western countries, Canada, the U.S., Britain, and all these other, the NATO allies and all this shit, they've been fucking with these Middle Eastern countries over their resources and controlling the political process and making sure that their crony corporations and stuff can do whatever they want unabated in foreign countries. This is like pure, like this is just fascism 101 here. And all they're really doing, and they're basically admitting, is these people from these foreign countries, or that were born, maybe originated from these foreign countries, maybe now and live in Canada, maybe still have family members and others that live in these countries. Yeah, if you keep bombing the fuck out of their, their family members in their country of origin, and I mean, we know what's been going on. I mean, World War I and World War II, the Vietnam War, none of the major global conflicts that any human being is aware of have lasted even remotely as close to this war on terrorism, where Western countries have been invading, bombing, and destroying relentlessly these countries in the Middle East, whether it's Syria, Iraq, you got Yemen now, Libya, Somalia, fuck. I mean, come on. You know how many Lebanon. There's been the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. I mean, these people in the Middle Eastern countries and Iran, can't forget Iran. Holy fuck. Can't forget Iran. They're being fucked with constantly too. So, I mean, Western powers are completely fucking with these countries constantly. And I mean, think about it, after 2001. This is 2015. So, 13 to 14 fucking years of constantly fucking with these foreign, and it was long before now, but just for the people that are only paying attention to since the war on terrorism started. Because let me tell you, you can go all the way back to the 1953 coup or whatever in Iran. People that understand history know that, Western powers have been fucking with these Middle Eastern countries for decades, maybe centuries if you could follow it far enough back. So to act as though, just because there might be the odd, and they call them extremists or whatever, but what's an extremist? If some foreign country, pick any foreign country, China, Russia, I don't know, whatever. Pick anyone, North Korea. If they were fucking constantly invading Canada or parts of Canada, like on the East Coast, let's say, and come and landing on the shore and invading Nova Scotia or Newfoundland and taking over and wanting to control the reason. Do you think there might be a few Canadians that might be called radicals or extremists for wanting to fight off the foreign invaders? Do you think that might happen? Well, you all fucking know damn well. Of course it would happen. When you have foreigners come from other countries, you have no idea who they are. They just show up in military outfit with all this fucking military equipment and start fucking with your country. Whatever the underlying reason or preferences or ideologies behind the people that are doing it, as a person that lives in those countries, just like if you lived in Canada, well, the Canadians now, if somebody started attacking, you're going to want to retaliate against the people that are invading you, right? So really, that's what we're talking about. And they're basically even quasi, they will never fully openly, but they're somewhat admitting the fact that, they're attacking interests, like even the economic interests. Well, it won't be, obviously it won't be your bank account, Canada, where you're worried some terrorist is going to want to invade your bank account or some shit. No! Now, if you're funding, or if you're part of the military-industrial complex, or in some way funding or supporting, some of these groups or these power structures in the Middle East, of course they're going to be pissed off at you. What the fuck, man? Who wouldn't? This is the fucking problem that I have a hard time wrapping my head around. A lot of Canadians I know, and it bothers me, and especially my fellow fucking white-skinned Canadians, stop being such racist fucks. Stop treating everybody from the Middle East as if they're fucking... Stop listening to the shit your government and fucking media are telling you. You never had any personal interactions with people from the Middle East before? Because I have many times in my life. And for the most part, they've always been really decent, good human beings that I have tremendous respect for, and they have respect for me. I've never... Wonder why that is. Now, I'm pretty fucking sure if I went around saying, you're just a bunch of fucking camel jockeys, or what do they call them? I don't know, all kinds of derogatory statements. Your country's fucking, you guys are just a bunch of fucking whatever. Camel ride, whatever. I mean, if I acted racist and treated them like second class, third class citizens, would I be surprised if they fucking hate me and someone that wanted to attack me? Of course I wouldn't. Duh! I would fully fucking expect they wouldn't. That's the thing. When the governments of these countries do what they do, and these people at least have some fucking brain in their head, of course there's going to be retaliation. But like I said, average Canadians, you better start fucking recognizing that even though you believe in the religion of statism, your God, your deities, the political masters, that's not you. So if anybody wants to attack these fucking control freaks and sociopaths in this country, don't think of that as an attack on you. It's nowhere near an attack on you unless you're supporting it, unless you're part of it. I mean, if you're one of those cheerleaders for Harper saying, yeah, let's bomb these fucking Middle Eastern countries. Yeah, man. Now, if you're like that, yeah, maybe you should be a little bit fucking concerned. Because you're a vicious, evil motherfucker that has no clue what's going on over there because you aren't there. But yeah, you're willing to throw your support behind your political master, which is a fascist, sadistic, fucking warmongering piece of shit. Why? Because he's got the same color skin as you? You fucking ignorant fucks. Stop using ignorance, racism, bigotry, nationalism, these fucking ridiculous or religion, these fucking ridiculous concepts and fucking ideologies that just does nothing but divide the human race, cause countless of millions of people to die, be displaced, suffer from. I mean, you can't imagine, even if you don't die from this shit and you actually think about what it does to the psyche of any people that have to deal with the fucking shit these Western countries. I mean, look at how rich our countries are compared to some of these Middle Eastern countries that you're attacking. How fucking vicious is it for these fucks to use such heavy-handed tactics and brute force against people that don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. And yet we're supposed to get behind and support. Because I was born in a certain geographical landmass called Canada. Therefore, look, Harper he speaks for all Canadians, so I got to get the fuck behind this guy? I don't fucking think so. Never in my fucking life was I stupid or naive enough. And it's not just in politics, in my own personal life or anything will I ever fucking fall behind. When I know that something's wrong, I speak up about it. I don't give a shit how popular I am when I do it. I don't give a shit how many people want to fucking detest or have disdain for what I got to say. I'm fucking honest, I'm moral, and I'm a principled human being, and I ain't going to fucking yield and bow to no control freaks or sociopaths. I don't care who the fuck you are. I don't care what flag you fucking clamor to. Care what religion you hold dear in your heart. I'm telling you as a sensible human being that of course there's going to be blowback when you have countries that are invading and destroying these Middle Eastern countries, unless you want to blame all the Iraqi people, Libyan people, Syrian people, all these people, unless you want to throw them all under the bus, then yeah. I mean, we know how many countless civilians die. Even when they try to do strategic targeting with drones, there's still plenty of civilians. What excuse could someone give to you if you lived in one of these Middle Eastern countries? And even if there was maybe the odd terrorist against a Western country that didn't like them. Let's say your kid was playing in your backyard and your house you just happened to be close by one of these so-called terrorists, and your child dies as a result of the drones don't give a fuck. They just dropped the bomb. Hey, we got to kill the target. And they call that collateral damage. Your kid dying would be collateral damage. Would it piss you the fuck off? Of course it would piss you off. And if it didn't, you wouldn't be a moral, compassionate human fucking being. So stop blaming these people in these other countries for wanting to defend themselves, or people that have families in these other countries that are pissed off about Western countries being imperial pieces of shit and invading their countries of origin for the resources or to dominate their political or social constructs of that particular country. Get mad at your fucking idiot fucking government in these countries that are bringing the kind of blowback that we know. That's what happens. They're the ones that are causing this. What talk did you ever hear about terrorism before this? Before the 2001? You didn't, did you? Right? Huh? Of course, they're retaliating for the shit Western governments are doing against their fucking countries of origin. Be smart, Canada. Wake up. It's Canadian Libertarian. I love liberty.